All right, so here we have another video I'm going to make about lesson 4. So we're learning about the heading HTML tags. We're learning about headings. So heading is a title or summary for a document, that big thing that goes up at the top, at the center. That is your heading. It's like a title of sorts. So we're going to continue. We are skipping pair programming. As I've said before, don't watch that video. You don't need to watch that video because we're not doing pair programming for Unit 2. I'm going to introduce that in Unit 3. So here we have a website. So far, you've organized your content into paragraphs. Another way HTML allows you to organize your code is by using headings. A heading is a short piece of text that goes at the top of a section of content, like a title. So if you have other questions, you can click on these. That are hints that can help you. What you actually have to do for this part of the assignment is always under Do This. Find the headings in the web page below and use the inspector tool to see the code that makes them. So we'll turn our inspector on, take a look at some headings, H1, H2, H4. You can see those highlight over here, H1, H2, H4, highlight when I hover over these. And then change the code so that drawing and 2 years match the headings on the rest of the page. So I am going to close my instructions so I have some more space to work with here. And let's put that here. So drawing and 2 years need to be the same as the rest of these headings. So when I use the inspector, I can see baking is wrapped in H2, 10 years is wrapped in H4, but these are p tags. They don't match. So what I have to do is change them. So watch what happens as I change this to an H2 and this to an H4. And now the headings are fixed. That's it. That's all you do for number 3. Moving on to part 4. In part 4, so headings can come in different sizes. In this page, there are 6 different sized headings, but they are all mixed. Can you fix them? So we're going to use the inspector tool and change the tags so the headings are in order from biggest to smallest. So you can see this says biggest, big, medium, small, small, and smallest. So this should be the biggest, and this should be the smallest. And the way we do that is thinking of the H's as ranks. So H1, number 1 is the most important. Number 1 is the biggest. So then we're going to change this one to a 2, this one to a 3. And you can feel free to pause if I'm moving too fast and you want to make sure you've done this correctly. This one is already correct. And then the last one becomes H6. So pause if you need to get through this activity, but it should be pretty easy to understand. The scale of the size changes based on which heading style you use. We don't want to use that to format anything, but we'll get into formatting stuff in Chapter 2 when we learn about styling. So, finish. Moving on to number 5. Number 5, we look at the problem here. Our H1 is bacon, so that should be the biggest one. H3 should be in the middle, and H6 should be the smallest. So bacon should be the biggest, eggs should be the middle, and waffles should be the smallest. And that's this one right here. That is the correct answer. Now, number 6 is part of your assessment, so I don't want to necessarily give you all of the answer when I do these in future videos. But for this one, for the just sake of the fact that you're here watching this video, I'm going to go ahead and provide you with the answer. So looking through the content, you decide what the best structure should be. Use your heading and paragraph tags to code structure into the page. So if you look over here, there's no structure in this page at all. So you can see the intended structure over here on the left. We want to make that show up over here on the right. So what I'm going to do, My Pets is the title of our whole thing. So we wrap that in H1 tags. And look at that. It separates itself. I want this to be a paragraph. The key here is to make sure that everything is wrapped in tags. I shouldn't have spare text. If I skip to the next thing here, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure everything is wrapped in text. So I'm going to make this an H2, and this an H3, and so on and so forth down the rest of the page. This is clearly a paragraph. Whenever you're dealing with sentences, one sentence, multiple sentences, anytime you're writing a full sentence in your code in your for your web page, it should be wrapped in paragraph tags. There are some special cases where you might have a different thing to put around it, but for the time being, whenever you see a sentence, think paragraph tags. H3 over here, slash H3. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Use paragraph on both of those. If I lost you there, don't worry about it. Just do them one at a time. H2, H3. And you always want to make sure you have the closing tags for each one. Oh, I made a mistake. Let's go back and catch it. I got ahead of myself. So you see how this is marked in pink? That's because it's supposed to be H2. And then we go to our page and we see it's all formatted correctly. So we finish that. And these are all just information, so I'm going to skip ahead to number 10. And in number 10, you have to start creating your website. What you're going to do here is use HTML to create the page that you sketched out. Make sure it includes at least 2 headings of different sizes and at least 1 paragraph. So make sure when you add your code, it's inside the body tags and you're using 2 headings and 1 paragraph. I'm not going to tell you what to write here. You write whatever you want. It's your website. You decide what it's about. Just make sure that you have all of these tags used on the website. And that's it.